2 years after migrants began to arrive, many have settled into Chicago, even as some continue to struggle. Now, here go my question. Like, we're looking at all these crime stories and all this. How can you be, if you're a migrant, how can you be struggling? You got the checks coming from Eric Adams in New York. They out here taking over real estate in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota and in California, they getting health care and they about to be allowed to vote. They try certain places trying to make them be allowed to vote. Shout out to Honda 666. What's good with it, bro? Certain places are trying to advocate to make it where undocumented people are able to vote. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? Look, I'm about to be lazy. I don't feel like reading it. So we about to listen to we about to let the AI read it. I think they're gonna play an ad too. Now, how they put ads in AI is wild.
2 years after migrants began to arrive, many have settled in Chicago, even as some continue to struggle. Since Texas Governor Greg Abbott began busing migrants to Chicago in August 2022, asylum seekers have transformed the fabric of the city and beyond. More than 47,200, mostly from Venezuela, have passed through Chicagoland and tens of thousands have settled here. Local officials have opened up over 20 buildings to temporarily house them and spent hundreds of millions of dollars. They've watched their hospital.
Hey, that's hilarious, ain't it? Hey, that's some lazy stuff. Get used to it because y'all, anytime they got the AI thing on there, bet the AI finna read it. The AI finna read about to read the article, and I'm gonna just add commentary. So it's about to be like I'm actually doing a reaction to the article. Ain't that terrible? It is what it is. You got to work more efficient these days. If y'all haven't hit the like button, do me a favor, hit the like button. And it's okay if you want to dislike the video for me being lazy, for, you know what I'm saying, allowing the artificial intelligence to contribute to doing things for people that people can do for themselves. I understand and will sympathize with your dislike of the video.
Schools and food pantries fill with record numbers of people. Abbott did not produce the migrant crisis over the past 2 years, but he magnified it, forcing Democrats to reshape their party's thinking about welcoming immigration promises. Today, driven by a June executive order issued by President Joe Biden, buses are no longer arriving in Chicago.
Oh man, that's hilarious! Shout out to the Geek Surgeon. The Geek Surgeon said, "Do the dislike show up?" You probably can't see it on y'all's end, but we can see it on the creator side though. We'd be like, man, who disliked the doggone video for real? You know what I'm saying? I be having 100% likes on my videos, and then like it'll be like one person that randomly disliked the video. I'd be like, psh, that's what's up, man. Filter the video out to some people that don't like it. But what people don't know is that it don't matter, like ratioing the video and all that is, you just see it. But what actually matters, what the AI is reading is, did somebody feel was somebody encouraged by this video to engage? Because if you encourage somebody to engage, that's what actually moves the video through traffic. So if the video upset that person so much that they dislike it, that counts just as much as a like, because artificial intelligence doesn't have the inefficiency of human emotion. It only takes into consideration action versus reaction. So the action is either liking or liking the video. And for the AI, that's the same thing. It's only for humans who have the inefficiency of emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Though at the same rates as in 2023. The crisis that officials have long grappled with is entering a new phase. Migrants have lived through 4 seasons in the city. They're moving into neighborhoods. Some are even coming to the city on their own, hearing it's a good place to live. Our job is creating long-term community connections for these families, said Matt DeMatteo, Executive Director and Pastor at New Life Centers, a nonprofit organization helping migrants in collaboration with the city and state. A beautiful tapestry of spaces and places. Indeed, while some migrants have found stability through jobs and a community, many others are still trying to survive as they live in challenging conditions and struggle to find work and go to school. Out of hundreds of migrants interviewed over the past 2 years, the Tribune has followed up with 5 to see how their lives...
And shout out to everybody that's watching, man. We got 75 people in the chat. That's what's up. we got 480 subs over on Undocumented. If the mods could put the link to the chat, or if the mods could put the link to Undocumented in the chat, we only need 20 people to subscribe to get the channel to 500. So we got 74 people in here. If 20 people that's watching this video can subscribe to Undocumented, that would be great. Shout out to Virginia Hernandez. Virginia Hernandez says, black on black crime. You forgot to finish the sentence. Black on black crime is happening at a lower rate than migrant on migrant sex crimes against minors. You forgot to finish the sentence, so I did it for you. Yet something else that somebody has done for you since coming here. You're welcome.
Have unfolded in the city of big shoulders. Mayor Eliezer Gil Blanco says he wouldn't be alive now if he hadn't come to the U.S. While on his journey from Venezuela last summer with his pregnant wife and daughter, the 24-year-old became paralyzed from the chest down due to a rare condition called transverse myelitis, inflammation of the spinal cord. Like many migrants, he has leaned heavily on volunteers and medical resources in Chicago since he arrived. For months, caretaking fell solely on the shoulders of his partner, Genesis Chacon. She had to look after a newborn and a 4-year-old while changing his diapers and flipping him over in bed. After the Tribune reported their story in February, the family received over $80,000 through a GoFundMe page set up by volunteers.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mum-Ra, the ever-living!
Do you need an interpreter, Virginia? Before we get started, shout out to the unit. Shout out to the unit. Hit the button. Do you need an interpreter? Or can you read on your own?
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mum-Ra, the ever-living!
I'm going to ask you, do you need an interpreter again? Let me see. This right here is supposed to match something else. Yeah, here it is. There it is. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We had to have those on the screen at the same time. Okay. And now, for your pleasure, right? For your pleasure, and since you're such a hardworking person, because that's what you people come to do, is work hard, I'm gonna help you with your work values. Now you can work even harder to get some nonsense into the chat. How about that? Anyway, let's get back to the Chicago Tribune, who Virginia seems to forgot has written that story, not me.
However, the money proved challenging to manage between family members. Then pressure rose in March when Gil Blanco found out Chacon, 23, was dating someone else. We started fighting. It got really bad, and in front of our girls, he said. Taking care of Gil Blanco and the children was hard for Chacon, said Emily Wheeler, program manager for the Faith Community Initiative.
Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots! I've got morons on my team!
Who has been helping the family. In April, she called us and told us she refused to live with him anymore, that she was taking the girls and leaving, Wheeler said. Chacon used her portion of the money to move to a hotel room. She eventually came back after Gil Blanco said it would be better for their daughters if she were there. They moved to a different apartment in July. Gil Blanco can't bring himself to schedule an appointment for therapy treatments at Cook County Hospital.
That's called pay for play, right? That's called pay for play. Stop at she asking for handouts. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. This is Merca. We don't do handouts in Merca. Right? At least that's what they say. That's what they say. But apparently they do handouts in America, because I just showed where they getting all them food cards for people like Virginia. So,
which has seen at least 34,800 migrants like Gil Blanco through 121,000 visits to its health centers and hospitals. Gil Blanco often sinks into a deep depression, he said. He has regular dreams that he can walk again. He wishes he could do so many things that he can't. On a recent weekday, he sat on a mattress in his new house in the Grand Crossing neighborhood and watched his eldest daughter Mila run around him, her curls bouncing. I felt alone, he said. But my strength comes from my daughters. I want to see them grow up here. Betsabeth Bracho, 34, slept on an air mattress at the Calumet.
hey, shout out to Miss Nisi for giving me a handout. Make sure y'all show Miss Nisi some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Miss Nisi for funding the organization. I'm up here doing much harder work than Virginia Hernandez has ever done in her life, sitting at my computer.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Shout out to you, Miss Nisi. I definitely appreciate it. Hey, shout out to Hurricane IQ. Make sure y'all show Hurricane IQ some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Hurricane IQ funding the organization.
Silence! Silence! I ain't got no money, pa.
This is the hardest record out.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Now everything was cool until Virginia Hernandez came in here doing this.
Just like a woman. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. Nigga Reaper keep it 1,000.
Acting just like a woman. Her name was Virginia, so she probably was a woman.
Just like a woman. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. Nigga Reaper keep it 1,000.
All right, let's get it.
District 5th police station for 7 months before moving into a migrant shelter and then an apartment with her husband, Carlos Ramirez, a former police officer in Venezuela. In June, Bracho said she and Ramirez...
See, it's a reason why, again, if you ask me, there's a specific reason why they keep bringing people, quote unquote, from Venezuela. If you realize that there's a lot of people and they coming from Venezuela and they keep coming together and concentrating in these large numbers with these criminal gangs and these criminal issues, well, you probably want to start decreasing the concentration of those people. That would make the most sense, right? If that makes the most sense, give me a thumbs up. If that don't make sense, give me a thumbs down. So then you got to ask the question, well, why do they keep bringing the same people in? Somebody make it make sense. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. I appreciate it, bro. Hurricane IQ says, here, Virginia, go practice for work tonight. Hey, here she go. She about to get her practice on right now. Check this out. Shout out to people, because people done found her already and they done sent me a video of her practicing for tonight.
That was good. Coconut, yes. But amazing. Meow, yes.
And she said she got a man at home, but you know her man ain't nothing but one of these.
But he lie about everything, don't mean a thing. Said he slept 1,000 women straight up lying. And when it comes to honesty, he's always trying. He posted I'm not spending the time on the ladies, but we all know he's just fronting like crazy. Said he's a music producer, but it's all fake. Just a mask he wears, and it's all a mistake. Simping water is where the lies, claiming things that he just never tries. What we see through is the signs, plain to see. Simping water, you can't fool me.
Trolling Virginia, you can't fool me. And you came through the southern border illegally. Illegal Virginia. And you came through that border illegally. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. Damn, that's funny as hell. Hey, if y'all haven't hit the like button yet, do me a favor, take a minute, hit that like button. If you haven't shared the stream, take a moment, share the stream. Y'all already know it's probably going to take about a week for them to approve the monetization on this for the replay viewers.
Fled Venezuela because her husband opposed the government under the country's far-left president.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. The people that opposed our government, they're in jail for January 6th, right? So I think that is interesting that when Trump says they're sending their prisoners here, right? Now he's admitting that he is coming here because he opposed the government. It could be argued that the people on January 6th opposed the government, right? And they're prisoners here. So if people that oppose the government are prisoners here, it's probably likely that somebody that opposed the government there would be a prisoner or they'd be executed. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So my question is, how do they rationalize this when discussing this? You know what I'm saying?
To move to a hotel room. She eventually came back after Gil Blanco said it would be better for their daughters if she were there. They moved to a different apartment in July. Gil Blanco can't bring himself to schedule an appointment for therapy treatments at Cook County Hospital, which has seen at least 34,800 migrants like Gil Blanco through 121,000 visits to its health centers and hospitals. Gil Blanco often sinks into a deep depression, he said. He has regular dreams that he can walk again. He wishes he could do so many things that he can't. On a recent weekday, he sat on a mattress in his new house in the Grand Crossing neighborhood and watched his
He got a new house in the Grand Crossing neighborhood. That's nice. That's something to be happy about.
Eldest daughter Mila run around him, her curls bouncing. I felt alone, he said. But my strength comes from my daughters. I want to see them grow up here. Betsabeth Bracho, 34, slept on an air mattress at the Calumet District, 5th, police station for 7 months before moving into a migrant shelter and then an apartment with her husband, Carlos Ramirez, a former police officer in Venezuela. In June.
What happened with this former police officer? Former police officer in Venezuela, and then now you done brought yourself over here. Is this another individual who quote unquote opposes the government? Now, again, you got to ask yourself the question, if a lot of these people quote unquote oppose the government, they oppose the government. My question would be, what's to say that at some point when they get annoyed by something that might not be the way that they like here, that they might be opposed to our government here and start to cause some type of disruptions that were being caused where they were prior. You know what I mean?
June, Bracho said she and Ramirez fled Venezuela because her husband opposed the government under the country's far-left president, Nicolas Maduro. Bracho said police officers at the station didn't know that Carlos had also been an officer in his home country. The couple has come a long way since the Tribune first met them in June last year, when they were eating donated food and...
Okay, check this out though, right? I want to make sure that we get all the politics and all the political spectrum, right? They said, listen, pay attention. They said that he opposed the country's far left president. Ain't that what they said? Now, here go my question. Did the people on January 6th, quote unquote, oppose our quote unquote far left government? Is that what happened? Is that the situation? If that's what happened, and if that's the situation, give me a thumbs up. If that's not the situation, then give me a thumbs down. So we'll welcome immigrants in the country who oppose far left governments, but Americans who do it are locked up. It's very interesting. Now, am I caping for these people? No. Am I cool with these people? No. I'm doing the same thing that I always do. We're examining the logic. Now, here's my question. Does the logic make sense? Shout out to Cannon Hotep. Make sure y'all show Cannon Hotep some love and go check his channel out. My man Cannon Hotep says, salute. Trolls are in full effect today, bro. Facts. And I'm the main one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the main one and I'm streaming. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Shout out to you, bro. Make sure y'all show Cannon some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat from a man Cannon Hotep, funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Silence! silent. I ain't got no money, pa.
Cannon said trolls in full effect, bro. And the ringleader of them is streaming.
He said. But my strength comes from my daughters. I want to see them grow up here. Betsabeth Bracho, 34, slept on an air mattress at the Calumet District 5th police station for 7 months before moving into a migrant shelter and then an apartment with her husband, Carlos Ramirez, a former police officer in Venezuela. In June, Bracho said she and Ramirez fled Venezuela because her husband opposed the government under the country's far-left president, Nicolas Maduro. Bracho said police officers at the station didn't know that Carlos had also been an officer in his home country. The couple has come a long way since the Tribune first met them in June last year, when they were eating donated food and using a bucket to shower in the police station bathroom. Bracho works at a nail salon now, and they live in an apartment with several other migrants. But she misses her life in Venezuela. She said she was studying to be a preschool teacher. We're not here because we want to be, she said. Bracho and Ramirez left their 2 sons, ages 9 and 12, in Venezuela with family. She calls them every day. Following Maduro's claim of victory in July's election, which led to surging protests across Venezuela, Bracho said she's now concerned about her children's safety. We've been talking about how we're going to take them from Venezuela and bring them to Colombia, or maybe even here, she said. In early August, Bracho went to a demonstration in the Loop to protest what many have described as one of the worst moments in the country in over a decade of decline. She wore a shirt on which she had painted Free Venezuela in red, yellow, and blue. Last November, Jamili Perez, 28, took the first step so that her daughter Kini Mar Avila, a tiny 8-year-old with microcephaly, a condition where a baby's head is smaller than normal causing seizures, developmental delays and intellectual disability, would be able to go to school. Perez had traveled thousands of miles for better opportunities for her daughter. But Kini Mar never went.
So again, like, it's wild to me how these people would they'll just completely leave their family that they have. And just uproot their entire life to come here to the United States, and for what? And then get here and not like it here, and still are reaping and getting all of the best of all of the benefits taken away from the people that are here that actually don't have it really well, that could be using those benefits to try to improve their life and are actually paying taxes for that. Shout out to y'all, man. I got a live stream that just got monetized, so I'm about to release it off of members only, so people will be able to watch it now. So there's one. We still waiting on we still waiting on a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting on a whole bunch. So yo, I got a question for y'all. When I release the live stream from private or from members only to public, do y'all get a notification that it's been made public? Let me know in the chat if y'all get a notification in public. If you get a notification that has been made public. And also shout out to everybody that's watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. All right. We got 103 likes and we got 65 people watching. If we could get the likes to 165, that would be amazing. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, take a moment, hit that bell, subscribe to the channel, and also share the channel, share the stream to your social media, and tag somebody that you know that's interested in this type of information in your share.
And this year, on the first day of classes, she stayed home, battling a 104-degree fever and bedbug bites on her arms and legs.
Ew.
Perez blames her daughter's health on the crumbing apartment in the South Shore neighborhood where they are living. She says she has tried.
So she blames her health on the South Shore apartment in the neighborhood that they're living in. She don't blame her. She don't blame the health on, like, just, you know what I'm saying, years of living in decrepit, you know what I'm saying, dilapidated, dilapidated conditions and all that. It's the apartment's fault. Well, if it's here go my thing. If it's the apartment's fault, why did you cross the Darien Gap to get to that apartment? When if it's the apartment's fault, you didn't have that apartment before you came here. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
To wash everything and spray all surfaces. She can't throw out her clothes and furniture because she doesn't have money to replace them.
They do have
on
money.
A visit to the apartment in early.
They get a lot of money. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to the new subscribers, and even shout out to the old subscribers that may have not done this yet. There's 3 playlists on this channel. I don't know if anybody uses playlists to watch YouTube content, but if you do use playlists, make sure that you watch the Undocumented Bros playlist. Make sure you watch the Immigration playlist and make sure that you watch the Undocumented Crimecast playlist. You guys should watch all of those if you're interested in this type of content.
August, the Tribune saw bedbugs crawling on the Kini Mars mattress. Neither Perez nor her husband have permits to work legally. A workshop run by the federal, state, and local governments, working in conjunction with.
Hey, look, hey, shout out to the trolls. They still in here with their cheap self. I'm gonna make y'all spend that money that on that MasterCard that Eric Adams gave y'all. I'm gonna make y'all spend that money on that MasterCard that Eric Adams gave y'all. Now, shout out to the people that are quote unquote considering, right? No pressure, considering super chatting or anything like that. To the people with the gray names, y'all might hope that you might get a gifted membership if someone is so generous as to gift membership, because we're gonna see how this go, and the members only mode might mess around and get turned on again. We're gonna see, but we'll do it tier 1, tier 2. I went straight to tier 3 just to do it. We're gonna go tier 1, tier 2, then tier 3. So let's go.
The shelter system has helped more than 8,700 migrants submit applications for permits. But Perez didn't know about it. And with the odd job she's picked up, she can't afford to move.
Shout out to T-Lo. Shout out to T-Lo. Shout out to CX1. What's good with it? If y'all agree with T-Lo, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree with T-Lo, give me a thumbs down. T-Lo said, these mugs have nerve crossing the border illegally and complaining about being uncomfortable. Go home. Facts. Super facts. Virginia says, blacks ain't the ones to talk about other races. Mind your business. Actually, yes, we are. We are absolutely the ones to talk about other races. And the reason why is because all of you other races all act the same and have all been dominated by the same small races of people that you're so proud of. The only elements of your culture that you're proud of are the non-native elements of your culture by that small group of people that has completely taken you all over. The fierce warriors and all, Aztecs and Mayans type thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, But you Catholic? You go to a Catholic church? Is Hernandez your tribal last name, or did that come from somewhere else? That don't sound Aztec or Mayan. Hernandez sounds kind of popey, if you know what I mean. Sounds kind of popey. I'm just curious.
To another apartment. I just want to be in a place where my daughter is protected, she said. Several other
and this is interesting. Virginia Hernandez says, is Johnson your last name? Well, it's clear now that you need an interpreter. Now, let me ask you a question. Is Salzman a Latino last name? If Salzman is a Latino / Spanish last name, give me a thumbs up. If it's not, then give me a thumbs down. Why am I asking that question? Well, I'm asking that question because somebody by the name of Nell Salzman wrote this article. And somebody by the name of Artificial Intelligence is reading it. So my question is, what's your problem here? What's your problem here? young lady? What's your problem here? Are you one of those disgruntled folks? Are we gonna have to teach you a lesson? Are you gonna have to? Yeah, we're gonna have to teach you a lesson. Tier 1. Shout out to the TCU. I need the TCU to put the alarms in the chat and type in Tier 1. Tier 1 defenses have been activated. Tier 1 defenses have been activated. Tier 1 defenses have been activated.
Migrant families live in the building, she said, and when they shower, water from the upstairs pipes runs down the walls in her bathroom. It's so bad that even doctors don't want to do home visits. I've told the landlord a lot of times that I have a child with special needs, Perez said. They know they need to fix the house. Lori Wyatt, who helps manage the property, said exterminators have tried treating Perez's apartment multiple times. They've instructed her to bag or get rid of her bedding. Once you have an infestation like that, it's just really hard, Wyatt said. Perez said she would return to Venezuela or move to another state if it weren't for Kinimar's condition and the network of support she's built here. While Perez and her husband work painting and cleaning.
Hey, you know what's crazy? This is what's crazy. I had the members only on for a minute, and they just sat there and waited to type again. You ain't got nothing else to do? Like, for real? You just sat in the chat. It might have never went back to subscribers only. Shout out to Tier 1 Defense activated. Shout out to Tier 1 Defense activated. Don't make us have to activate it again. Don't make us have to activate it again.
Again!
Oh, man. I don't know what's wrong with Virginia, why she can't read. Might be this.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Hey, Virginia, he talking to you.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Man, you try to be nice, you know what I'm saying? Take the chat off, put it back on regular so everybody can chat, and here she come messing stuff up again.
Just like a woman. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. Nigga Reaper keep it 1,000.
Hey, I'm about to make a compilation video of the Reaper keep it 1,000 saying just like a woman for 10 minutes. It's gonna be a compilation video of Reaper saying just like a woman, like on a whole bunch of different episodes. 10 minutes worth of Reaper saying just like a woman. What y'all think? What y'all think? Y'all think that'd be a good video? Let me know. If y'all want me to make that video, throw some flames in the chat.
Cleaning jobs during the day, she often relies on friends to help at home. My little girl is always at risk of having a seizure, she said. Her saving grace has been the community of other migrants who live in the same apartment building, especially the children. Her 9-year-old son, Kinar, likes to play in the backyard with them. 2 months after she was sexually abused while looking for an apartment in the Roseland neighborhood.
Now, who did that? Who? I wonder who it was. I wonder who the offender was that did this. I want to ask y'all this question. Who do you all think was the offender that did that to her? Let me know what y'all think.
While Perez and her husband work painting and cleaning jobs during the day, she often relies on friends to help at home. My little girl is always at risk of having a seizure, she said. Her saving grace has been the community of other migrants
I try to tell y'all, man, that dude is hilarious, man. He funny as hell. When more people start like catching on to his channel and watching, he gonna blow up at some point because he funny as hell. he hilarious. Shout out to Carlton. If y'all agree with Carlton that that's a good possibility of who did it, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree and think that somebody else might have done it, then give me a thumbs down.
Same apartment building, especially the children. Her 9-year-old son, Kinar, likes to play in the backyard with them. 2 months after she was sexually abused while looking for an apartment in the Roseland neighborhood, a Venezuelan woman, whose name is being withheld because she is a victim, said she was attacked and robbed. She said her immigration papers and valuables were stolen near her home about a month ago. The 2 back-to-back incidents have crippled her with fear. While her husband works, she spends most of her time inside their home in the Austin neighborhood. Her sons run around the apartment revving engines on their invisible motorcycles. The first attack happened at the beginning of summer. Eager to leave the shelter where they were staying, the woman had found an apartment listing on Facebook for a room in the Roseland neighborhood. As she walked behind Roseland Community Hospital, trying to find the apartment, a man approached her and offered to help. She refused, but he proceeded to back her into an alley, and groped, bit and tore at her clothes, all while her child watched and screamed in a stroller. The only thing I could do at that moment was grab my son. My son held on to me and wouldn't let go, the woman recalled to the Tribune in July. Her second attack happened a couple of weeks ago when she was at a birthday party at a friend's house, she said. She went to a corner store across the street to buy some extra food when a man came after her for her wallet, she said. I started screaming. I thought it was the same attacker, she said. The woman has received no answers from detectives after she filed a police report in early August. What will it take for the detectives to pursue my case? She asked through tears. Do I need to be raped and killed? On Monday, Angelica Beltran, 45, and her son, Ingerbert Morales, took a photo in front of the bean. A week earlier, she threw a party for his 9th birthday. She had a cake with white and green frosting, and more than 20 kids were there, all people they'd met since arriving in Chicago last July.
I'm not trying to be funny, but like you doing all right if you can have a birthday party like that, right? You're not doing you surviving, you living, right? Ain't that bad now if you can have a birthday party, right?
It was a far cry from when the Tribune first met Beltran and her son, Ingerbert, earlier this year, as he cried on his way to school. The family was part of a state housing program that provided $53 million to move migrants into over 6,000 homes, according to data provided by a state spokeswoman. Although Beltran expressed gratitude to the state for helping her with 6 months of rental payments, in their rush to leave a migrant shelter, they had moved to an apartment in Englewood that was too small, and the block felt unsafe. Recently, they've moved into a different apartment in Englewood, where the family has more
shout out to Catsy. Throw some cats in the chat for Catsy.
space, and the block is quieter. Beltran and her husband, from Venezuela, received work permits several months ago by claiming temporary protected legal status, which allows people from certain countries to live and work in the United States. The couple has...
And remember, so guys, remember, part of the Biden-Harris administration thing is that they expanded this definition of temporary protected custody to encompass a broader group of people in an effort to decrease the quote-unquote status of illegal people by legalizing their status of how they're here now. So just remember that.
Found jobs at restaurants on the South Side. They're able to make rental payments and are saving up for a car. Beltran's biggest worry now, she said, is enrolling Ingerbert in school. He still can't read. Last year, he stopped going to school because he was embarrassed he didn't speak English. She had wanted to enroll him in a bilingual school, but there wasn't one nearby. It's just hard for me to talk to people, he said. As of April 12 this year, Chicago Public Schools estimates it has served a total of 9,800 new arrival students. CPS has increased the number of teachers who are certified as bilingual, English as a second language or both, by nearly 40% since 2018. Still, thousands of kids who have moved to new neighborhoods are adjusting to...
Shout out to Kip Doctor. Kip Doctor says they always blame Texas. Denver and New York City sent illegals to Chicago too. Facts. Now here goes my question. Why do you guys think that they don't bring that up very often? Why do you guys think that they don't bring that up very often? Because if you ask me, they should. That's definitely important. Why don't they say anything about that? Shout out to everybody watching. We got 60 people watching. We got 105 likes. Shout out to y'all for hitting that 100 mark. Throw them 100s in the chat. We hit a milestone. That's what's good. That's what's good. Let's try to get it to 160. Smash that like button, hit that bell, share the stream. If you've done all that and you enjoyed the content, throw some thumbs up or some like enforcers in the chat.
Schools with few Spanish-speaking classmates. Last year, Beltran knew the transition from their country hadn't been easy for Interbirth, so she didn't push him to go to school. But this year, she planned to try again. On a baseball diamond on a warm summer night in the little village neighborhood, Yoel Guerra stood in a circle with his teammates as they held hands and prayed. The 16-year-old from Venezuela said he likes Little Village summer softball because it's different from baseball for his school or for his Cubs traveling team. Thursday nights in the summer, he plays with people of all ages, including his stepdad. Guerra's family of 7 lives nearby, and his little siblings sit on the sidelines of their games. They'll snack on Cheetos and run around on the fields nearby. For Guerra, who has been playing baseball since he was 4, the game has become a refuge and a reminder of home. It's a place to unwind and focus on one thing. Guerra is not just joyful when he plays baseball, but is naturally gifted. His coaches think he has a chance of playing in college. Knowing that, this year he's focusing on his grades. He's also focusing on Farragut Career Academy's teen goals. They moved up divisions after winning their conference last year, and they want to win again. I love the community here, Guerra said. Each day, Guerra said baseball, his country's most popular sport, gives him something to look forward to and people to look up to in the U.S. Chicago Tribune's Joe Marr contributed.
So there's that. All right. So we got 2 conflicting stories. We've got stories saying how, these migrants are coming here, getting a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? They're building business and criminal value chains. And then we got, other stories like sob story, like what we just heard there.